Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Foam roll for full body fun will target all the main areas of the entire body. This class is geared toward increasing our mobility as we soften and massage out the fascia tissue. There will be a brief stretch after each area rolled to ensure that we don't miss out on the benefits of stretching after foam rolling. So let's get started and have some fun. Foam roll full body fun is the name of today's class. So we're going to start out nice and tall, and we're going to check out our range of motion in our shoulders and upper body. So first thing we're going to do is just reach both arms up to the sky and just lean side to side, just a little gentle lean as you reach to the sky. Notice the shoulders, maybe one is more restricted than the other, the sides of the waist, through the rib cage, all the way down into the hips. Just keep on reaching. A couple more. It's a nice little stretch as well. And then go ahead and bring both arms down. And you might even just feel a little bit of a, call it the whoosh, just after we stretch, we get oxygen, nutrients, and blood flow to those joints. So now we're going to transition, and we're going to start with our upper back. We're going to get every area of the body today with the foam roller. We're going to do our myofascial release. It's like a deep tissue massage. So find the middle of those shoulder blades, hips on the floor, feet flat. We're going to do our fingertips behind the ears, so nice and wide, not interlacing, because then we tend to crank on that neck. Lengthen through the neck. Good. Lift those hips, and we're going to roll to the top of the shoulder blades and then back down to where the belly meets the back, and then back up, giving yourself a gentle chiropractic adjustment. And then you're going to pull the elbows in, maybe tuck the chin slightly, fingertips behind the head still, and just continue rolling. So again, getting the muscles along the edges of the spine. And don't forget your breath, your breathing. Try a nice exhale as you roll down the back. And then an inhale. One more. And then find the middle of those shoulder blades and let your hips rotate or sink to the floor. Good. Feet still flat. Shift your hips slightly to the right so you can drop to your left hip. And then roll onto that left armpit or shoulder blade. And just take a breath in and let your left elbow rest on the floor. Keep your right hand behind your head so both elbows nice and wide. And then we're going to rock backwards and then back forward into that armpit, right into that chest wall. We're making sure that if you have any lymph nodes missing, you're not going too far into that area. You know the areas hopefully to avoid, or put a towel there so you have a lot softer cushion for rolling into that area where there's lymph nodes if there's any missing. Good. Now from here, you're going to slide your body slightly towards the back of your mat so the roller goes a little bit lower below your armpit. Elbows still on the floor, and we're going to roll back and forth again, going a little into that chest wall. So this might be a little more sensitive down here below that armpit. So your armpit is above the roller, not touching into the armpit. We're right below it now. Getting more into the lats. Take your right foot, place it flat on the floor so the knee is up. Get a little leverage. And if you want, you can even lift your hips and do a very small forward and back, like to the back of your roller in front on that area, leaning back into that shoulder blade slightly, getting into that lat. And then lower the hips and then rock again, forward and back, side to side, like you're rolling from your back to your chest. One more. Good. Then you're going to move your whole body down towards the front of your mat and bring your shoulder onto the roller and your arm, your tricep. Good. You can release your right hand off of your head and then straighten out your left arm. So the left arm is right on top. I want your elbow on top of the roller. Palm is down towards the floor, and then roll into that left arm. And then roll backwards. And then again into it. And you know what? roll a little bit lower, so very tippy top of that shoulder, as high as you can go without falling off the roller, and then roll side to side again. So you're really getting into the top of that shoulder. Turn your palm upward now, and do a little roll with your body, rolling it down and up. You can even use your right hand for support if you need to, so you're not going to fall off that roller. Just a small movement. Then bend your elbow, so your fingertips are now going to the sky. Palm faces your feet. You're 90 degrees at the elbow. And again, a little mini roll up and down. The elbow is still on that roller, so you're getting right back there in the back of that shoulder where it connects to the arm. And then a little roll side to side. Now roll towards the arm and then back towards your back. And then we release all the way onto our backs. Back onto the roller, holding onto the head. Take the left arm that you just stretched, or rolled, excuse me, and stretch it to the sky. Reach that left arm up, grab hold of your left wrist, and then pull that left arm all the way across your body to the right. Nice rotation there, stretching through that whole arm. Now pull that same left arm over your head as you roll onto your back. Stretch it over. And then release. Good. Fingertips back behind the ears. Scoot your body slightly to the left so you can drop both knees to your right and roll onto that right armpit. So we're just going through all the different areas, the major muscle groups like the lats, the shoulders, the upper back here. And we're going to get all of the areas of the body today, from the head to the toes, all the way rolling side to side into that armpit, into that chest wall, and then back it up into the back and that shoulder blade. Arms are wide behind the head, elbows wide. Good. Then you're going to roll forward towards the back of your mat, so that roller moves below your armpit even more into the lat. Not too far down. You don't want to go into the rib cage too much or pop a rib. Maybe bring that left knee up and place that left foot on the floor for support, and then roll your body again. Side to side, going chest wall to the upper back, getting into that lat. And just breathe here. Now you're on the right side, so there might be more trigger points, especially from using a computer. Also, option to lift your hips slightly and move a little bit up and down to the top and the bottom of your mat, getting into that lat. So you're slightly leaning back as you do this one. You're not leaning forward because that gets a little too much into that front rib there. You want to stay towards the back. And then lower that hip. Good. Now from here, you're going to slide your body towards the front of your mat so your shoulder and your elbow go right on top of that roller. And place it on top. Good. I'm going to turn around just so I can make sure you can see. All right, so that right elbow is right on top of the roller. You're going to straighten it out. Palm is down. You're on your right hip. And try to get that roller towards the top of your arm and then roll into that arm. Chest wall towards the arm and then roll backwards. So you're getting way up back in that upper arm. You might even get a little tricep, depending on if you're sore or not there. Then from here, you're going to turn your palm upward and slide the roller a little bit higher up again. And this time we're going a little movement up and down to the front and back. If your head gets tired, you can hold your head with your left hand. If your neck gets tired, I should say. Then you're going to bend your right elbow, fingertips to the sky, palm faces your feet. Good. And then do a gentle roll toward your arm with the chest and then backwards again. It's also a good stretch getting into that upper shoulder area. Anybody tight there? Can feel that difference on this side compared to the other side? So we're going to get the arms, we're going to get the shoulders. So we used to think that the fascia tissue was just like a kind of like a sack that would hold the muscles and hold just the different areas of the body, the major muscle groups. And now we know that the fascia tissue is a whole, there's a link between that and all the autonomic systems, like the nervous system, the immune system, the endocrine system. It's all linked together, and the fascia can affect it. Pretty amazing stuff. So we're affecting even our nervous system and everything when we do this. So now you're going to roll backwards onto your back again. Good. And we're going to lift those hips, and let's roll the upper back one more time. The middle of the back, and then back up to the shoulder blades. And breathe. Good. And then you're going to lower the hips. Good. Come all the way up. Give it a squeeze. Hug the knees. Tuck your chin. Just give it a nice stretch. Relieve that shoulders, the neck. Good. Now from here, we're going to flip around, and we're going to go onto our bellies and bring that roller right next to you. And you're going to bring the roller right against, up into the armpit and the chest wall. So we're going to do this as we get in there. And then bring your forehead to your hand so you can really lengthen through the neck, and then relax your shoulders and your legs. And then bring your left arm out to the side, and then sweep your left arm like a snow angel. So just getting into a bit of that chest wall. So we did the back side, now we're getting the front side. Try rotating the palm towards the back of the feet as you slide the arm. Good. Just a couple more. Maybe the palm goes flat again. Good. Then from here, lift the upper body. Just bring that roller out enough that you can bring your bicep on that roller. Palm is down. And then you're just going to slide side to side. So you're rolling that bicep right above the elbow on that roller. Palm is down. Then you're going to rotate your thumb towards the floor. Let your head rest on your hand, on your right hand. Then turn your palm upward so your thumb is facing your feet, and continue rolling that bicep. That's going to get a little more intense. You can go all the way up towards that armpit. You can go down into the elbow. Not doing a ton of time here, just a little bit. Good. If you find a spot, you can turn that arm over and you can bend and straighten the elbow. Just play around with it. Good. And then from here, you're just going to lift yourself up and roll the roller to the other side. And then come back down to the belly, or just flip the roller over. Doesn't matter. But it's going on the right side now. Your forehead on your left hand. Relax your feet. Untuck your toes. And then lean your chest wall. Hug. Just give that roller a nice tight hug all the way up into that chest. And then reach the right arm straight and start to sweep that right arm. Oops. Make adjustments as needed. Just keep moving that arm up and down. So your mobility is going to increase after we get all the different areas. The front and back of the body, the superficial back line of the fascia, and the front line of the fascia. And it also goes, obviously, everywhere because it's linked to everything. And when we do this, when we move and roll on the roller and work the tissue out, it does help with our, it's kind of like an anti-aging, because it does affect the nervous system. So it's getting reorganized, it's getting nutrients, it's getting everything it needs when we do this. All right, then take that roller out from under your chest and bring it further out so your bicep is on that roller. So right above the elbow, palm is down, and then just roll yourself gently side to side on that bicep. It's a nice stretch for the chest wall too that we just did. So as you lean forward, you feel that stretch, and then start to turn your thumb towards the floor, and the palm faces your feet, and then continue rotating that palm up towards the sky. Thumb is now facing your feet. So you'll get a little more intensity in that roll there. Don't forget to breathe and smile. This is so much fun. Foam roller, full body, fun times for the body. because we're going to move better, and that's when we can have fun. When we move better, have more mobility, more flexibility, and we think clearer too as we get things going. All right, so last one. Excellent. So go ahead and bring the hands next to the chest, and we're going to come all the way up, and we're going to bring the roller right in front of us. Good. Let's take a child's pose, our knees apart, feet together, and just stretch out the low back for a moment. Have your hands on the roller and nice and wide. And just breathe. Good. And then go ahead and slide yourself back to your belly. And that roller's in front of you. And you're going to walk your hands out on the roller. So I want your palms down and your forearms on the roller. So the roller is right below your elbows. Good. And I want you to pull the belly into the spine, look down at the floor, and then start to draw your elbows towards your body, and your body automatically lifts up. So a little extension of the spine, and then slowly roll yourself back down and feel the stretch through the armpits. Take a breath in and then come back up. Exhale as you come up, and then inhale, come back down. Good. And then come back up, and then roll back down. Good. Turn your palms to face each other now. Good. Take the elbows and the arms a little bit wider, and then try to come up again. And just notice the difference in the belly, and then roll back down. Stretch out those arms, and then again, come back up. Come all the way to the hands, nice back extension. Lower the shoulders away from the ears. Feel that core working, and then lower all the way down. Good. And then bring the hands next to the body. Push yourself up, coming to tabletop. And then we're going to just take that roller and we're going to turn it longwise now on that mat. We're going to place our left hand on the roller and place your right palm up on the roller and then slide it across underneath your left arm. So we're going to place the right forearm on the roller and then take your left arm and just crisscross it over the top and slide the arm side to side along that roller. So you're massaging out the forearm, the back side of the right forearm, going from the elbow to the wrist. And the pressure of the left arm is up to you, how much pressure you put on it. Good, last one. And then we're going to flip that right palm down and continue rolling along that area. Good. And then you're going to slowly release. Place that right hand on the roller and then turn your left palm up underneath. Slide your forearm, the left forearm to the roller, and then crisscross. Place your right hand on top and then just roll it again side to side, massaging out that left forearm. So it might not feel as intense on the left if you use that right arm for that mouse on that computer a lot, or you're right-handed. And then turn your palm down and roll the bottom side of that forearm. So many body parts to go. So turn your roller back to where it was across the mat in front of you. We're going back down. So place that right elbow on top of the roller. Good. And then bring your left hand on top. And we're just going to stay in that little child's pose. And you can even tuck your toes under. You can scoot it closer to you. And you're going to move along that tricep. And breathe. So this is one variation. And then you can try the other side. And I'm going to take you a little deeper into this if you would like to try it. So this might be plenty because this other one is a little intense. And this is back on the belly and taking that right arm on top of the roller. And it's above the elbow. Your left hand is across your chest on the floor, like the forearm. And then just again, lift and lower like we did earlier. and just slide that arm forward and back. So you're getting into that tricep, and then turn the palm up and try the back side. And if you find a spot, then turn your palm down. You can bend and straighten. You can bring the palm up and down towards your back and then straighten it if there's a trigger point there that you need to work out. And then when you're ready, we're gonna switch arms. So place the right hand down, left elbow on top of that roller. And then again, lift the body as you roll the arm towards your body and then extend it out. Palm is down. And make adjustments. Anybody notice one side more tender than the other? So we did the bicep, now we're doing the tricep, front and back of the arm. We did the lower part of the arm. Palm is up. If you need to bend and straighten, if you get a trigger point, like you bring the arm to your shoulder, you can even bring the arm to the opposite shoulder. It's a great way to get those trigger points out, rotating that arm, different angles. Good. And then we're going to release. Excellent. Now you're going to come back onto that roller, upper back on the roller. Good. And then you're going to take your right wrist with the left hand and gently pull it across. So we never did this one at the other end when we were doing the upper back, and then bring it over your head. Good. And then take both fingertips behind your ears, bend your elbows, and just let your body open and push your elbows like up to the sky and back. So getting a little tricep stretch at the same time. And then lift your head, bring your forearms to the roller, and then we're gonna sit all the way up. And we're gonna check out our range of motion. So we did the whole upper body pretty much. We still have to do the neck, but we're gonna do that later. We're gonna get into the lower body and then we'll end with the head and the neck so just we can really relax. So reach both arms up and check out your reach. Oh my goodness, anybody notice a difference? It's like freedom, mobility way increased in those shoulders. You can even take a wrist and pull it over. Feels so good. And then the other wrist. And then let's take both arms behind the back. Interlace those fingers. Pull that chin in so we're not letting it fall forward. And open it up. Like I said, foam roll, full body fun. So we're just having fun today. Even if I forget something, we'll get it back later. Or you get to, we're not perfect, so we make mistakes. Keep going. We're just here to have fun and get the body moving and more mobile. Shake out those arms. All right, so we're going to double check our range of motion also with the forward fold. So sit up nice and tall, but we're gonna move into lower body. Lift through the spine, pull those glutes out, reach the arms overhead, and then lean forward and just see what's going on. You might feel some tension or a little resistance in the legs. It's like shake them out a little, feel a little stiff. And breathe. Just kind of hang out here, long spine. So we're gonna change all that and increase our range of motion. All right, so let's take that roller and we're gonna move to the glutes. So we're gonna sit on that foam roller. So bring yourself up on top. I'm going to start on my left side, leaning the left hand to the floor, lean onto that left butt cheek, and let's roll the roller from the top to the bottom. And roll. Any speed bumps, roadblocks, trigger points in those glutes? Feels so good. So then we're going to take that left ankle, cross it over the right, and roll that whole glute. All the way. Now you can use a block also if this bothers your shoulders or you want to sit up taller. Continue rolling. One more. Good. Now from here, we're going to slide off for a moment and we're going to stretch out that right glute. So let's give it a hug, lift up tall, flex that right leg, hug that left knee, and get a little twist. So you really want to stretch through that glute. And we're going to move on to the other glute, and then we're going to do some hamstring. We're going to get the whole upper leg a little. We're going to do some circles around. So we're not going to roll directly over the IT band, but we're going to circle around it. We're going to get some quads, shins, calves. So lots of fun things coming up. And then we're going to release, and we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to go to the right glute. So climb on up on that roller, right hand behind you. And let's just use those feet to roll us to the bottom of the glute and to the top. All the way. Don't forget to smile because we are having fun foam rolling here. Working through all that connective tissue, massaging it out, rehydrating it, bringing nutrients to the body to increase our mobility. Who doesn't want to be more mobile? Yes, always. Let's take the right ankle and cross it over the left thigh. Flex that right ankle and roll again, top and bottom. This might make it a little more intense. You might find more speed bumps as you roll along the glutes. Relax your shoulders, try to lengthen your neck. If you find a trigger point, you can always pause and move your knee like a wing, like flapping the wing to get into that area to loosen it up. Release any of that maybe crystallized tissue in there, or just call them speed bumps. Now we're going to release that leg and we're going to sit on the floor. We're going to straighten out the left leg, flex the foot, pull the right foot across, and let's give it a hug. Hug that right knee. Really feel that fabulous stretch through the glute and the hip. So from here, we're going to move to hamstring. So you might want 2 yoga blocks for this next part. It just helps you give a little leverage to get into the hamstrings a little deeper. All right, so what you're going to do is get those 2 yoga blocks and bring them behind you. And you're going to put your hands on the yoga blocks. So it's they lift you up a little higher. So we're going to put the hands on the yoga blocks, feet flat on the floor. Lift yourself up so you can get up onto the roller. Place your left leg on the roller. So the roller is below your butt cheek and on the back of your leg, pretty much where the glute, the butt, and the leg meet. And then take your right leg and place it on top. Now your blocks can be flat on the ground, or you can even bring them up taller. And then bend your slightly bend your right leg. Use your heels, straighten and bend at the feet. Use your heels to just rock yourself forward and back on that hamstring. And try to lean forward a little. And that's where the blocks really help, keep you upright so you can lean forward, and you might feel those hamstrings. And then you're going to rock your body side to side across that tissue. Then you're going to walk those blocks backwards and slide your body back a little more. And use those heels again, leaning forward slightly if you can. And again, you can rotate those blocks to different levels. They can be longwise. If you have blocks, you might not even be using blocks. And that's okay. If you don't have blocks, you can just have your hands all the way down on the floor and just hold your body up. And then you get a little upper body workout while you're at it. And then rock the body side to side. Oh, and I have a treat for you today with quads. We have some fun things we're going to do with the quads today. And then rolling a little lower. So we're working our way towards the knees. And when you get lower to the knees, you can still use the heels to push yourself forward and back for support, or you can lift your legs off the floor and then rock side to side. And then you can even use the whole body and swing forward and back and slide the whole leg from the top of the hamstring to the bottom by that knee, but not going behind the knee, to massage out that whole area. Good. Then we're going to lower our hips to the floor. Go and remove the roller. And then you're going to take your right ankle and place it underneath your left knee and sit up nice and tall. And we're going to be doing a nice little stretch and hold and pause here. So take your arms up, reach them to the sky, exhale, reach for your toes, and let's just pause and stretch here. Good. Just feel that nice lengthening of that hamstring. Maybe move that foot a little side to side. And then release, come all the way back up, slide that foot out from under. And then now you're going to bring that roller back underneath those knees. And we're going to do the other side. So again, however you need to get up on that roller, maybe it's easier for you to just sit up on your glutes first and then slide back till your right leg, so the back of your right leg is on the roller. And I'm crossing my left foot on top just to give myself a little leverage and a little pressure on that hamstring. Option is to keep your left foot on the floor flat, and you can always use this leg on the floor, the left foot, for leverage to help you move a little more. So use those, press and flex those ankles and move yourself along an inch forward and back on that hamstring. And then also go side to side and make sure you're leaning forward slightly. Anybody find some hamstring tension back there? Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to find, but once you find it, you're like, oh yeah, there's some spots. And then roll yourself down, close the roller closer to your knee, just about an inch. And then point and flex that foot so you can get really into rolling onto that hamstring, and then side to side, across. And then we're going to walk those blocks or just your arms back and then move that roller down that thigh more. And then forward and back an inch. So we're going both directions on that tissue. Again, it's everywhere. The tissue is, it links to everything. And then a little lower, forward and back. And again, play with what feels good to you. If you need a break ahead of time, go for it. We're spending a little extra time here on these bigger muscles of the lower body, because they have a big job of carrying us around all over the place. Then we're going to roll to the top of the hamstring and then down to towards the knee and back up. Again, these are just options. What works for you is up to you. And you might notice that one hamstring is a little tighter than the other. If you find a spot, you can just rest on it. And leaning forward, good. And then we're going to lower those hips to the floor and slide that roller out of the way. Good. And then we're going to straighten the right leg and place your left ankle under the right thigh and move those blocks out of the way. Lift up through your spine first, flex your right foot, reach your arms to the sky. And then let's exhale to the foot. Reaching towards our right foot, and just notice the difference as you stretch. And let's just rest and pause here as well. Take a deep breath in. Try to relax your shoulders. Try not to collapse through your spine. Still think about lengthening through your spine, and you'll feel that nice little pull or stretch through the hamstring, and you're not forcing the stretch. Stretching after foam rolling is so key to bringing in the nutrients to that tissue. So you can foam roll lots of times, but if you're not stretching after, even just for a short 10 to 20 seconds, you're missing the extra benefits that you get. All right, so we're going to release that. So now we're going to go on to continuing on the leg, but we're going to the outside edge, and we don't roll directly across that IT band. Think of it as a circle. So again, if you want to use a block to support you, to lift you up higher, you can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop to our elbow, and you can put your block under your elbow if you need that. And you're going to bring that roller kind of to the top of your leg, below the butt cheek. Bend. I'm on my left leg. Right leg is bent, foot on the floor. Good. And you're going to use your hands and your elbow to draw yourself. I'm leaning slightly back, so almost onto that hamstring again, but you're more to the side. So you're going to draw your body towards along the mat, so the roller goes down towards your knee. Then you're going to take your top leg and flip it in front, rotate towards your belly, and then slide yourself back down so the roller goes up your thigh. And then move the leg back again so you rotate onto your back. So you're doing a big circle. And then when you get to the bottom, rotate, slide up. So it's a big circle. And you can keep your foot in front and just rotate your body or move that leg back for more support. And then also go the other direction. So whichever way you were going, reverse your circle. It's less painful this way if you're circling the IT band going from the top of the leg to the middle of the leg, like down by the knee, than going directly along that IT band. Good, one more. And then back down. Good. You did it. We're going to flip sides. So just go ahead and flip around. And let's take an elbow on the other side. And then bring your right leg right below the butt cheek. The back of that right leg on the floor. Left knee is bent. Left foot is on the floor. And then draw your body along that roller. Yes, the roller moves down by your knee. Then take your top left foot in front. Rotate your body forward. And then draw that roller up. And then bring the foot behind you and draw it back. So just a few circles, making sure you're staying on the outer edges instead of mushing into that IT band where it ends up being so painful. And this might not be super comfortable, but it's still going to be better than going along that IT band. And then try to reverse your circle. Go the other way. And then flip it. Good. Couple more. And if you're done and you're like, it's too painful, just take a break. You're just about there. Good. And then when we're done, we're going to release. You're going to come off your roller onto your hands and knees to tabletop. So we're just going to do a little stretch for that IT band. Spread out those fingers. Take your left leg and stretch it to the back of your mat. Press into your heel, or your toes, excuse me. And then lift your foot off the floor. Point your left toe. Bring it across your body to the right side. Let the top of your toe go to the floor. And then flip the toes so the ball of the foot goes onto the floor. Now you're going to rotate your upper body to the right and look back at that right foot. Good. Shift your hips slightly to the left and straighten out that left leg. Just feel that nice stretch. So it goes all the way up into the hip. You might mostly feel the hip stretching. And then slowly coming back to center. Release that knee back to the floor. Let's do the other side. Extend the right leg. Push the toes back. Just a little mini stretch there. And then bring that right foot out to the left side. Tuck the toes under. Shift your upper body to look back at that foot. So you're shifting the upper body to the left. Shift your hips slightly to the right. Lengthening, straighten that leg. Good, now we're coming back to center. Now you're going to bring the roller to your left side, and we're going to come back down onto our belly. So we're on the lower body part still. We're going to bring the left knee up onto the roller, and you're going to bring the roller right above that left knee. And then bring your foot, the left foot on the outside of that roller. Go ahead and bring your elbows in front of your chin, or your hands, stack them in front of your chin, elbows out wide. Good, so you just have a little support. And then just start to straighten and bend that left leg. So you're rolling that inner thigh. You're down by the knee, so it might be a little tender. And then you're going to roll your body a little closer to the roller, so your roller moves up the thigh, and you're going to straighten and bend. Now, if you want to get a little more leverage, you can pop up to your elbows, and then you can start to really roll that whole inner thigh. All the way. The knee is slightly bent. Just let it relax, and then roll the body to your left towards the roller, and then roll the body to the right. So the roller is moving along the whole inner left thigh. Now, the angle of your hip can also affect where you're hitting on that inner thigh. So if you bring it fully up to a 90-degree angle at the hip, and then your knees at a 90, and then try to roll you're going to get a little deeper into that IT band. You're going to get a little more of that area, that gracilis, that's one of the muscles that goes along there. And just so all those fascia tissue links in there. Now option 2 is you can straighten the leg and roll. And if it's too intense, again, you can maybe get rid of that 90 degree and just roll. But having that full 90 is going to make it a little more intense. Less 90 at your hip is less intense. So make those adjustments that what works for your body. Good, one more. If you find a trigger point, you know you can always go back to it and you can straighten and bend that leg. Because we're going to finish up here and we're going to go to the other side. So just roll that roller, lift your body, roll to the other side, put the leg on it, and go onto your, all the way to your belly if you would like, and just bring that roller to the outside of your knees. I'm going to flip sides so you can see. So again, the roller's right above your right knee, and you're straightening and bending right above that knee. So if you have knee issues and this is incredibly painful, you might know why now, because that connective tissue is super tight. Highly recommend getting massage, go to physical therapy, someone to work out that tissue if it's too painful to get on the roller this way. Because the inner thigh tissue, that all connects up into the hip, and it affects how our hips rotate, which can affect our gait, our low back, our upper back, everything. All right, then we're gonna start to roll that roller up a little higher, popping up maybe to the elbows if you'd like, and then roll that whole inner thigh. And again, remember the angle of your hip. So if your hip is not quite at 90, it might be a little easier, a little less intense. If you bring your knee way up, even past 90, it might be a little bit more intense. And notate which inner thigh is more sensitive, has more trigger points. Notice that as well. That is key to noticing too what's going on in your hips and your low back. So if you find a spot, you can always straighten and bend that leg. All right, last one. Roll it in and out. You can always have that leg straight when you roll. So many variations. And then we're going to release. We're going to come all the way up and do a quick inner thigh stretch. So just straighten out one leg to the side. Like I'm going to start with my right. I'll move this out of the way so you can see. Bend your left knee and just start to lean forward. And then soften. Then you make sure you're not overstraining it or stretching it, and you'll feel that inner thigh stretch. So my left knee is bent. I'm leaning forward towards the shin of my left leg, and my right leg is out to the right side. And you can try flexing that foot. We still have lots more to go. We got to get the quads next, which is my favorite. Go ahead and come up and let's switch legs. So just pull that right knee in, straighten out that left leg, and then keep the body tall as you lean slightly forward. Getting into that inner thigh. Can you tell a difference on that restriction when you're stretching this way as well? Which inner thigh is tighter? And try relaxing your ankle, flexing the ankle, and just noticing the difference. So those areas so far, the hamstrings, IT band, inner thigh, we've done all of those areas. Those are, yes, important, but the most important of all of those, I think, is the quads, because most of the time they're shorter and tighter because we sit a lot, and whether you're driving, sitting at a desk. Some of you are on your feet all day, but still the quads are working. Okay, so we're going to go to our bellies, and we're going to bring the foam roller to the quads. All right, so here we go. So we're going to come all the way up, bring that roller right above the knees, and we're going to the elbows into a plank. So you get to use your core. I want your feet about hip distance apart, and that roller's right above the knees. Good. Now we're going to do forward and back 1 inch just to test out what's going on with those quads. Then walk your elbows back 1 inch and just forward and back 1 inch again. So we're moving up those quads nice and slow and controlled Walk the elbows back an inch, up the thighs again, and then up an inch again. Keep moving up those thighs. And then keep moving up till you can't go any higher. Good. Now you're going to walk your elbows forward. I want you to slowly, maybe put your palms on the floor, engage the core, start to draw your body all the way forward so the roller slowly moves all the way down your thighs towards the knees. Good. You're back at your knees. Now I want you to bend both your knees. Engage the core, so you're using your core, and then start to roll yourself backwards again, walking your elbows back, rolling that roller slowly up your thighs towards your hips. Engage that core. Once you get to the top, we're going to slowly move our bodies again forward. So the roller moves down your thighs towards your knees. Not too bad, maybe. And then straighten out your legs. Let them relax and move that roller again up your thighs. Walk your elbows back. You might notice a difference. Does anybody have their legs yelling at them? One more time, roll the roller back towards your knees. Good. Now from here, let's take the toes wider. Good. And then start to roll the roller up your thighs again. And just notice the difference. Different area of those quadriceps and the tissue there. And then roll your body back forward again towards your, the roller goes towards your knees. Good. Once you get down back to your knees, put your toes on the floor and then gently walk your knees all the way together so your knees are touching. Good. Turn your toes slightly in and then bend the knees. Engage that core and start to roll the roller backwards again towards your hips. Keeping those toes in. And then come back forward so the roller goes back to your knees. Good. Now straighten the legs, toes stay in, and roll backwards again. Heels out, toes in, and then walk forward again. That might have been a little intense. Try to relax your feet now. Let them just hang out. Good. Now you're going to stay here on your elbows. We're going to get a little bonus core, but we're going to work the shins. Tuck your toes under. I want you to pull the belly in. Try to lift yourself off the roller into a plank, and then pull your right knee or shin towards the roller. And then drop your hips to the right, so just your right shin is on the roller. Now you can keep your left foot on the floor and just pull that right knee in and out, working that core, or you can stack the legs, the left foot over the right, and then pull in and out. So you're getting a little bonus core action here, but you're also foam rolling the shins. Rotate the ankle as you roll. So finding out where your strength is. Try to go all the way to the ankle. And your hips are tilted to the right so you can not hit that bone on the shin. Remember, you can always have your left foot on the floor for support and just roll that knee by itself. So great for the obliques. See? Fun times on the roller. We're working the core too. And then tuck that right toe. Extend. We're going to shift sides. So you're in a plank. That left shin is on that roller, and then you can pull in and out. And again, you can have the legs stacked, or you can keep that right foot on the floor and just do your left shin. You can have your hands on the floor or the elbows. Because if you want to do a full plank and do a little bit more, you can come all the way up and really use that upper body strength and those obliques by going to a straight-legged side plank. Again, variations to make it more challenging, or elbows making it a little less, or foot on the floor to back it off even more. Again, options are yours. Nice. Now from here, we're done. Bring your knees onto the floor and your tippy toes onto the roller. The tops of your toes, not your tops of your feet, but the tops of your toes. And then hinge your hips backwards so you can really stretch through those shins. We're going to stretch the quads more, don't worry. That is coming. But I just figured we were here, so we would tackle those shins while we can for time's sake. And then we're going to release. Good, bring the roller forward so your ankles can be on the roller. Slide yourself back, use your fingertips, push into the floor, maybe rock yourself onto the feet if you want to stretch a little more there. It's up to you. And then we're going to lower the knees to the floor. Go ahead and bring the roller to the side, and we're going to lay onto our bellies. All the way down to the belly. So there's the best stretch in the world. We're going to reach back and grab a foot and pull the foot towards the glute. So I'm holding my left foot, and I have my chin on my hand or my forehead to lengthen through the neck. Now, if you cannot reach your foot or use a yoga strap or belt or towel, you can always try laying on your side, or if that still doesn't work, bend the knee and bring the foot all the way behind you, lay on your side. So I'm laying on my right side and my left foot is up behind me, and just push your hip forward. So the key is to stretch through that hip flexor and through the knee. So we get this whole front side that we just rolled stretched out. And the more you practice that, the easier it will get. And if you are on your belly and you're holding your foot, maybe try drawing your knees closer together. And just breathe here, stretching through that quad. Try to relax the leg. And then we're going to release, and we're going to go to the right foot. All the way up. It's so many areas of the body to roll. So many muscles, so little time. We got to finish up here. We're going to do calves, and then we still have to finish up with our neck and our head. So hold that heel to the glute. Just think how amazing you'll be when you're all done. Getting all those links of tissue connected, moving, hydrated with nutrients. Remember, you can always be on your side. If you can't reach your foot, bring it behind you and stretch through that hip. Bringing those knees together, if they're not. And then go ahead and release that right foot. Bring the hands by the chest, press yourself up. We're going to have a seat on our bottom, bring the feet in front of us. Now we're going to go and grab that roller, bring it underneath your knees, and then straighten out your legs and bring the roller down by your calf muscles. So we're going to do a quick calf roll. So a couple options again, if you want to use your blocks under your hands, that's one option. Or you could even sit on a block. You're going to cross, now two options. I'm going to show you a few variations. One, you can just lift your hips off the floor and roll yourself forward and back. Or again, you can be using the blocks. You can cross your left ankle over the right, hands close to your hips, and you're going to lift your hips and slide forward and back. Now, lifting your body, if that is crazy and there's not a chance you're going to be doing that right now, just bend and straighten, and then also rotate that ankle. Make sure you move the whole leg side to side so you're getting all areas. And then you can just scoot your body forward and bend and straighten, and you can go side to side. So make it work for you. Another option, if you have wrist issues, you can be on your elbows. And a third option, if you have neck issues, you can be on your back and doing this whole thing the same way and just move that roller up and down that calf, trying to get the different areas of bending and straightening, moving that leg one side or the other, and rotating the ankle. So range of motion again, that's why we move the ankle, because it's connected, you know, that tissue is connected all the way up. Or you can just roll by tilting that leg from one side to the other, rolling up and down the leg. And then we're going to the other leg. So left foot. And again, take your time if you're on your back or you need to spend a little more time on a knot. And you can always come back to it, or you can lift and roll. So today is just about getting all the areas loosened up. It's similar to that deep tissue massage. It does not replace it. I still recommend getting a massage. They are fantastic for the body. relieves stress, increases our immune system, especially now that we know that the fascia tissue is linked to all of our different systems, particularly the nervous system, endocrine, immunity, amazing stuff. Amazing. The body is amazing. So rolling out that left calf. Good, now we're done with the calves, so we're gonna take that roller, bring it to the side for a moment. We're gonna cross the legs. We're gonna stretch out those calves by coming to tabletop. Couple options. One, press that right toe back into the mat. You can use your roller under your elbows, your forearms, if that feels better than being on your wrist. And then if you'd like, you can also intensify it by lifting to a three-legged dog or an upside down V, crossing your left ankle over your right, and then shift your hips slightly so you can really get that connective tissue that goes all the way down through the ankle, improve our range of motion, maybe going up into the toes for a moment, then back down into the heel, and then switching feet. And again, if you prefer to stay on the knee, that's fine, and press into that heel, or you can lift up and then wiggle those hips. Right ankle crossed over left ankle, and just shift your hips gently side to side as you stretch out that calf, that whole area between the ankle and the knee and the back. You can go up into the toes, back into the heel, soften the knee a little and move those hips so we get into the soleus, Achilles tendon. Good, and then both toes on the floor, just pedal it out. Up into the toes, back into the heels. The whole back side is all stretched out now, and the front side. So come on to all the way back down, and we're gonna have a seat on the mat. So we're gonna bring the head onto the roller now. So we're gonna come back and use the roller as a pillow. Remember, I saved the best for last. So we're gonna really relax here. And it's just gonna feel so good. And you might even feel your feet now after rolling the calves. And you can get into the feet deeper with a tennis ball if you want. We won't get to it today. It's a whole nother video. So bring the back of your head onto the roller and then turn your head to the left. Let's go into the occipital bone. So you're not on the vertebrae of the neck, the cervical spine. We want to be up on that skull. And then give a smile and a nod yes, because it feels so good. And you're holding the outside edges of your roller, if you'd like, to feel more stable. And then draw your head side to side like you're saying no. And then very gently turn your head to the other side and give it a nod yes. So you're on the occipital bone on the right side, and then a no. And then slowly bring your head to center and then lift the roller a little higher. So it's in the very back of your head. You're looking up at the ceiling. So if you draw your head to the left, it goes above your ear. And then draw your head to the right, and then to the left, and to the right. And then you're gonna find your center again. Now this time what we're gonna do is you're gonna do a little bit of a stretch through the cervical spine. We're gonna draw the chin to the chest, and you're gonna pause here and hold for a moment. And then you're gonna release. Good, hopefully you felt that nice stretch. Then from here, we're gonna hug the knees into the chest, and we're going to roll ourselves up a little slowly. We're gonna turn the roller longwise. So longwise in the mat. And then we're gonna sit at the very end of our roller. Now when we come back, you're gonna make a couple of adjustments, because remember where we just rolled on that occipital bone? Well, we're gonna get that to touch the edge of your roller. So when you come back, so your head is supported, but just scoot yourself back just a bit so you can just start to feel the edge of the roller on the head, the back of your skull, not the neck. So you're still supported, but you're adding a little pressure to that left occipital bone. So drop your head slightly to the left, make adjustments, fingertips on the floor, and just again, a little nod yes and a no. Not digging too deep. If it's too much pressure, just scoot back to neutral. You don't have to roll here. It can be intense if you get headaches or have super tight neck muscles. And then we're going to transition to the right. And again, a little nod yes and a no. Another breath. Good. And then scoot yourself down just enough that your whole head is supported and there's no pressure. Your shoulder blades are squeezing around that roller, feet about hip distance apart, and let your arms just rest next to your body. And then slide your palms, turn them up, and then slide them out to the side like a T. So feel the nice extra stretch in your chest. And just start to feel the alignment going all the way up and down your spine. Take a breath in and out. One last breath. We have one last final stretch just to put it all together. So you're going to bring your hands next to your body. Reach your arms up to the sky. And then slowly let them fall over your head behind you. Stretch them out. And then sweep them down around next to your body. Good. That was not the final stretch. We have there's one coming. Slide off the side of your roller and then sit up nice and tall. Straighten out the legs in front of you. Pull those glutes out. Flex the feet. Feel how much your body is supported on the floor. Lengthen through your spine. Lengthen through your neck. The crown of your head is to the sky and your shoulders are pulling down away from your ears. Pull the belly in, take a breath in, reach those arms up to the sky, and then exhale, reach for your toes. Hopefully you stay long through the spine, but you feel a nice lengthening through the back of those legs. Notice the difference from when we first tried our forward fold and when we first reached up to the sky. You have hopefully a lot more mobility, flexibility, range of motion in everything you do. Slowly inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart space. Good, release the fingertips to the floor, take it across the legs. Sit up nice and tall, take a nice breath in, reach the arms up. One more reach to the sky. Let's try a reach to the side, reach to the right side. Right hand on the floor, left arm overhead. Lengthening, and then switch sides. And just feel that all the way down through the hips, feels so good. Relax your left shoulder, and then bring both arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me for Foam Roll Full Body Fun today. Hopefully you're more mobile and ready to go. Namaste.